Hi, my name is Luwan. This is my tiny home built by Indigo River. Let me give you a tour. The reason why I went with a couch instead of a built-in couch is because I want the homey feeling to the house. As you can see, a lot of my decor color is very aesthetic. It's just, kind of moody, dark, and so I need some color to kind of balance the house here. The coffee table. I don't have a TV because I usually use my computer nowadays to stream. I had to go with the lower TV stand instead of trying to mount a TV. That's why I asked for a window here, because I do want to have visual of outside if I decided to move my tiny home somewhere out in the lakefront or somewhere in the forest. It'd be nice to have a view while sitting in the couch. This is where I put some of my camera gears, hard drives, ukulele. Then over here, you see I basically put all my dog supplies here. So the dog bin, toys bin, the leash, harness, and a photograph of me. The idea of going tiny all happened soon after I caught my husband cheating. Realized that, going minimalist is the way to go to kind of start over. I don't need a lot of things to live comfortably now. I started this journey in January. Reached out to Indigo River because I love the layout that they had built for other tiny home and giving you the possibility of customizing the house that you need. And so it took about 3 months to build my tiny home. I was able to purge 75% of my possession by going to go tiny. So literally cut off a lot of my hobbies and just keep, few clothes there, and, I had to rebuy a lot of the kitchenwares and so forth because I had to start over. Another challenge of going tiny as well is trying to find a place to park your tiny home. So I was trying to get an idea of what area to stay in, and then what RV park allows a tiny home. This tiny home is a 34-foot built on wheels, so it is portable. And so in the future, if I decide to buy a property, a lakefront property, or any out in the forest, I will be able to move my tiny home anywhere I want it to be. So that's another pro. This is a 400 square foot tiny home. Going tiny for me is also a financial benefit. So you can imagine your utilities are very, very cheap. My utility bill for electric was only like $30 a month. And so living tiny just free up a lot of my time. I travel a lot now. I go more outdoor now, being in a tiny house. My dogs needed to be out sometime because there's a little space for them to play. So we go out about 3-4 times daily, and then we'll hike several trails. So definitely, if you guys decide to go tiny, do some research, rent a tiny home, stay there, see if you can, stay in a tiny home, because that just gives you a feel of what living tiny is. So this is the kitchen. I basically had it designed an L shape because I wanted some counter to eat if I decided to eat on this side of the counter. And right underneath the counter, where I have a space to put my chairs, is shelving to put my coffee, teas, some dog and medicine supplies. Then on this sink here, I've opted for a farmhouse kitchen, a farm sink, because I love the size of the kitchen sink. That gives me room to, because I don't have a dishwasher, so it gives me room to actually do my dishes and dry them. I have a little drying rack that I just kind of put over this sink to dry my dishes. Kind of want to display my dishware because of the color of the dishes, black. I feel like it goes well with my color of the theme here. So over here is the stove. I have a 2-burner stove, 2 different sizes, and underneath here is the oven. I had this put in to put my knives, because I like to showcase the color of my utensils, and everything is black on black. So I had this little magnetic season that I can put on the side. Opting for a vent so that when I do cook, it actually vents out. So that's something I do recommend if, being a tiny home, when you cook, the smell does overwhelm the house a lot. So I highly recommend, if you do cook a lot, is to have a vent installed to actually vent out of the tiny home. Then you have a full, kind of like a mid-size refrigerator. That's perfect for the tiny home. I have a freezer and a refrigerator. and several storage. I have storage under here where to put all my extra pots and baking pans, mitten, here additional all my pots, more pots and pans. What I love about this builder also is that they install these kicker shelves, which is kind of nice. Also just like maximize your space here in the tiny home. So any storage space matters a lot. So here I put my my trash bin, recyclables and regular trash. All my cleaning supplies under the sink. Several storage here where I put a lot of my pantries and other utensils like forks and knives and spoons. They're all right here, organized. Again, black and black. It's very deep, which I love because then you have a lot of storage as well to put any kind of like sauces and stuff. And then this is where I put my glassware. So from coffee mugs to glasses, and ready to be hiking, guys. And over to the right, you'll see this really big window that I specifically wanted because, like I said, I wanted to be able to, if I decide to move somewhere with a scenic view, I want to be able to see what's outside. So really nice big window. This is a kind of like a foldable, I guess, what do you call this, counter table? And you can move this down. So maximize your space if you decide you're going to want to use it, or if you have guests and you want more table room or prep room, then you just open, this table back up. And I just put the extra chairs underneath the, the other countertop I had if I don't use them. So that was kind of nice. Also above the kitchen, I have this thing called the catwalk. It was initially designed for cats to walk across from one loft to another loft. But because I don't have any cats, I still want it built because I wanted to display all my my dog. I call it dog shrine because I love dogs and I like to display all my previous dog and my current dog. Okay, so this is the stairway, and under the stair is, your typical storage that a lot of tiny home has now. This is where I put all my dog supplies, my dog treats and food, and then my shoes. So this is my little shoe boot collection. Also, right below the stair is a little storage for shoes as well. So it's kind of nice to kind of shove your shoes in here while having to go upstairs with your shoes. So now we're entering the bathroom. I have this door made custom for me because I love the pattern and I couldn't find one the size of it and the style. So Tiny Indigo River built this for me, so thank you. This is a typical farm sliding door to your bathroom. So this is my shower. I love this shower because it's a French door style. So you see it saves a lot of room. No door have to come out. So really nice shower. Love the color. Went with the, I think this is called like the subway tiles pattern. And of course, gotta have the rainfall shower head. And so I had to install here so that, if I do decide to turn on the water, I don't get wet. Storage here. Mirror from IKEA. Have my combo washer and dryer combo unit by LG here. A lot of people ask about this because, they don't really see a lot of washer and dryer combo. And I love it. Even though it takes a longer time to dry or wash and dry, I don't have to switch clothes in between units. So it works out for me. Pretty small, but, being a minimalist, you don't want to have that many clothes. So it actually works out really well. I added extra cabbie space here to put a lot of like your tools, like, my drills, bit. Helmets, biking gear, sports gears, all over here, my little longboard. And then all my cleaning supplies over here. Also to your left is my cabinet where I put all my medicine, toiletry stuff, toilet paper, all that is here. This is a bidet, and I, trying to minimize my use of paper. As I do recommend a bidet just to, save earth here. And of course I have a Dyson hand dryer that was gifted by a friend. So I had it installed a little higher just because if I had anything lower, it's going to trigger every time I use the toilet. So here's my nicely Dyson hand dryer. If you're looking to build a tiny home, I do recommend, researching tiny home builder around your area. It was my first time, so I didn't know what to do. I did a lot of research by Googling to see what tiny home is out there. I also created like a Pinterest board so for some inspiration of what style of tiny home will work for me, for my lifestyle. And when I reach out to those tiny home builder directly, I basically, for one thing, ask, can you custom build a tiny home? Because a lot of other tiny homes don't custom build. They basically allow you to choose a layout, and they just give you like minor customization, which is like changing the color of your countertop or material. But I want more than just that. I want to be able to build my own layout, my own, where I want to place my windows, doors, and so forth. So I went through about 5 tiny home builders and, kind of went down to 2, reach out to them to actually have, if you have a tiny home that I can tour in person. Unfortunately, tiny home, availability of a tiny home to tour is very limited because a lot of these tiny homes are custom built, and once they're done, they're out. So it's really hard to actually see one fully completed. When I reached out to Indigo, they only have one that was in works. So I was able to see a little bit of, what they had built so far, but they gave me an idea of, the dimension, the height, the width of what I'll be dealing with, and options. I mean, Peter was a great guy, kind of walked me through also the design process. And even though I'm the one that kind of drive the design, he's the one that had to sign off and say it can or cannot be done. So he kind of helped me through that process as well. Another thing also is that if you're in need of a tiny home, you want to make sure they can build it in the time frame you wanted. While I was going through my divorce, I needed a place fairly quick. So 3 months was, what I needed to be completed by. And so he was able to meet my deadline. So it was really nice to kind of see that from a builder that can meet your requirement. This is my second loft space directly above the living room. And I live by myself with 3 dogs, so I just wanted a little lounge because I don't want to be near my dogs. I need some privacy, time to meditate, read a book. Have a little lounge here that can turn into it's a chase right now, but it can turn to a bed, so in case if I do have a guest, they can sleep here. And what I had designed in here is basically, instead of having like a balcony view, I wanted something more modern look. So I asked for a little window, and that way it gives the circulation into this loft as well as the other loft where I sleep. So these are the Japanese chair that people use to meditate. Can't remember where I got it. Either it's on Wayfair or Overstock. But these are really nice chairs to sit and meditate, or even just sit and read a book. So they're very comfortable, and you can lean back. They actually go further back too, and actually clicks and hold its place. So it's really nice, really, really comfortable chairs. This is my bedroom, and this is my bed frame. This is actually the ceiling of the bathroom. So they already built a bed frame for me, and all I need to do is buy a mattress. So being the mattress being so high, they built a step stool for me. So it's just simply pull this out, and then I can step into my mattress. What I also have here is a custom headboard that I made, that has someone make for me to, again, put some aesthetic to my tiny home and to match the theme color of my house. And over to this side at the end of the bedroom are my closet. When I first saw the other tiny home, there were like 3 closet space, and I didn't need that many because it's just going to be me. So I asked for a window. Again, I want this house to be bright, so more windows the better. And this window allowed me to, get up in the morning and be able to see what's on the other side. And right below that, there's a little storage bench, I call it, where I can store important stuff, but also be able to use it as a bench to sit. And I have a little table that folds out as well. In case I need to do some work, I can sit here and do some work, or use this as a laundry folding table. So that's kind of nice to have. And again, I feel like this, I barely use, for clothes wise, I just use this one side of a closet. That's just enough for me. The other side are typically storage of my collections or additional camera gears and winter clothes. So plenty of space, especially for just being me. It's a lot of space out here.